Dangerous Golf. You've been playing Dangerous Golf, Burns, haven't you?
I have.
It's by some of the people who were responsible for Burnout.
Yep.
Some of them.
Yep.
And I've seen you playing it. It looks a bit sort of Burnout-y.
Bit crash modey.
Bit crash modey.
Yeah.
It's got Burnout fonts, isn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
When you start the game, it's like a time machine back to the worst time in human history, which is obviously the early to mid 2000s.
Yes. Yeah.
The whole thing is you expect Alien Ant Farm to just walk in the room at any moment. You know, it's the fonts. It's got that kind of Tony Hawk's Underground aesthetic. Because it's crazy and all of that. But then it also has the way that a lot of it's taken directly from Burnout 3. So, the crash nav, smash nav thing as it is now.
Shit.
In red, in Burnout Red in the top.
Shit.
The progression of the world tour, you have to unlock it. Gold, silver, bronze, platinum medals. The way the golf ball, which is now the globe, spins when you go around. It's exactly the same. So they've nailed that.
Like, they could have... they could have called this Burnout Golf and people would have been like, yeah.
Well, so they've nailed the menus and those aesthetics and the callbacks, but sadly they've not nailed the crash mode itself, which is a problem. So obviously golf and smashing a golf ball around Versailles, which it isn't, but it's meant to be something like that, is slightly less intense than firing a sports car into a traffic jam. But the game doesn't have any of the preamble, which made crash mode really good. Crash mode was amazing in that you would get 2 or 3 or how many people together, and you'd have to drive the car before you exploded it and what have you, and there'd be this great tension of, could you hit the ramp at the right speed? Did you get the right, are you using boost at the right time? Here you just fire the ball off and then you hit B and press a button to start Smash Breaker, and then you bounce the ball around the room, and shorn of that tension of, have I got the first bit right? Because you are free to just point it and fire it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that, there's no, as I say, tension to it really. Like, oh, okay, well, I'll just fire the ball off. And then in Burnout's crash mode, you had aftertouch, so you could slow things down. If you saw like a truck or a tanker coming, you could hit whatever button it was, R1 maybe, and slow and try and direct the tiny bit of aftertouch on the car, so you could fire it in and get all the points. So you could clip that tanker, which would then go into the back of like a car or whatever, and then get you loads and loads of more points. Here, you can just hold down the danger time button, as it's known, and you'll just pilot the ball around in slow-mo.
Right.
And so it really sabotages the pace of the game. In Burnout Crash mode, you have very few opportunities to make the right call. You fire that car off, you hit boost, you hit a ramp, and then maybe you get it right. And with good luck and skill and timing all coming together, you get something that's both funny, even though it really shouldn't be given the subject matter, engaging as just the right amount of skill to make you think that you did it. Here, you can just direct the ball. Yes, there's a bit of an inertia, and you need to compensate for its own physics. But yeah, and it's just like, okay, we're in slow-mo now, racking up the points, and it's a bit bizarre. It doesn't really work. I'll also say it's a silly game, Dangerous Golf, right? But it's not silly enough. In one level, you're just smashing the ball into urinals, which would be funny if the game which runs on Unreal Engine 4 wasn't so boring looking. It's too dull.
Is there anyone like peeing at the time?
No, there's nothing.
There's no dudes peeing. You can't. You cannot disturb someone's piss.
So that sounds really crass, but that is the sort of thing.
That's what you want.
That the game is like. So I'm just in a urinal playing as a sentient golf ball, which in itself sounds more fun than it actually is.
Yeah.
So you crash through, and it's like, oh, you've hit 3 urinals, you've got the set.
Like right now, I'm imagining like all the cool shit you could do, like fucking with people who are trying to go to the toilet, bursting the door open.
Well, yeah, exactly. It kind of has the game professes to have that Tony Hawk Underground, and it does have that whole aesthetic where it's like Baditude, sticking it to the man and doing all this like skate punk sort of shit. But yeah, it's just really sterile in that regard, and it's slow. It's slow to play, and I played it in 2-player with Dave, and he's just watching me bounce a golf ball around. It should be quicker, it should be snappy, it should be firing. It should have been, and I know you shouldn't really judge it on the game that's not there, but why wasn't it a game with like micro machine style cars that you fired into these environments like that. You know what I mean? Like, you think that may have been a better fit. Doesn't quite click. It doesn't work. It's the engine is too serious looking for the game. There's no build up. There's no tension, and the aftertouch stuff's really overplayed. A shame.
That is a massive shame.
Yeah.
Massive shame.
It still can be quite fun when you're bouncing the ball and it looks like a tiny little sun because it's on fire. You're trying to get it into like the fifth vase of 5 before you then putt. But then you're like...
I mean, because I was looking forward to trying this out on the basis of really enjoying, obviously, Burnout Crash Mode, enjoying fucking Pain on the PS3, and those things are like, and Pain in particular, it's utterly stupid, and its entire appeal was that it's utterly stupid.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem stupid enough.
Yeah, that's it. The whole thing.
Stupid enough.
Like you blow up gas stations, for example. And you're like, okay, there's no one in the gas station. And this is the thing with Burnout Crash Mode. There weren't any people in those cars, but part of it was you imagined a massive fucking pile-up, which it was. You're like, oh man, that is horrible. Or, that's cool to watch. You got it in slow-mo replay or whatever. Here, the rounds go on for too long, especially in multiplayer, as I said. And it just is just not imaginative enough.
I'm sad now.
Yeah, I'm sad. Shame.
Oh well. Alright, if you enjoy our reviews, click the subscribe button and you'll know whenever we do one, which is sort of the point of a subscribe button. For now, if you click the left video, you'll get our Dead Island review, and if you click the right video, you'll get our review of Hitman Episode 3 Marrakesh, which is great. It's just murder. Simulated murder. Which is great. Bye!